Good evening, viewers, to this session. We have Maj General Sudhakar JEE with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Meena. It's a great
Yeah,
delight to reconnect back with your channel. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
thank you. Thank you. So, Major General, there is a breaking news that we'd like to speak about before we go on to the regular news. There has been an explosion in a car near gate number 1 of the Red Fort metro station, after which 3 to 4 vehicles also caught fire and sustained damage. Now, the Delhi Fire Department the brigade got a telephone call some half an hour before the incident happened, and apparently one person has been reported dead. Now, this follows close on the heels of the arrest of 3 senior doctors at Al Falah College of Medical Science. One is a female. They were caught with 2,900 kilos of explosives, and multi city blasts were planned. They also had ammunition from Haryana and Faridabad. They're said to be 7 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists. So this is following closely on the heels of this blast. So your comments on this, Major General?
Meena, firstly, this is one of the things waiting to happen, and nothing to get panicked or alarmed. And India is ready. We are prepared, and I'm sure the people who are experts on the subject would have sprung into service, and particularly the NIA, National Intelligence Agency, they must have already got into action. But the whole issue is that whatever has happened cannot be undone. Now, without actually flaring up the whole issue and panicking, one should be there to firstly to contain the situation and to counter. And when we say counter, counter means by proactive means, because there are many such kinds of explosions waiting to happen. It may have been a terrorist attack, it may also have been something other than terrorist attack. So let's wait for the intelligence sleuths to come out with the fact finding and join the dots. Because I have been raising this hue and cry for quite some time that the Pakistani agents, sleeper cells, they are all out hand in gloves with ISIS. They have gone in to make regional caliphates, and the regional caliphates are getting activated because the ISIS Khorasan as such could not succeed in extending the global caliphate which they had proclaimed way back in 2014. They couldn't succeed till 2019. It is only in 2019, post abrogation of Article 370, the ISI of Pakistan and ISIS came together, and they succeeded to some extent by 2023 in making a regional caliphate in West Bengal, one in Jammu, and one in Maharashtra. And between 2023 to 25, they have succeeded in making a regional caliphate, one in Assam, one in UP, one in Bihar, that is Kishanganj, and one I am told it is emerging towards the Madhya Pradesh. So we have to wait and watch. But all these regional caliphates, they are focusing on New Delhi, the capital of India. Their targets are multifaceted. It is on the political leadership. It is on the judiciary leadership. They are looking at the nuclear scientists. They are looking at the scientists and the economic centers of excellence and our financial department. So, and the media houses. So one has to be very, very alert. What shape and contour it will take, one has to be very watchful. It is not the same situation which we had in 90s and early 2000 or 2010 and thereafter. It's a different situation because there is a hiatus, I would say, between 2014 till now. There has not been any kind of terrorist act or violence which has been perpetrated by the transborder terrorists handled by the Pakistani military, except for one in 2017 on the Ujjain passenger Ujjain Express, which took place. And there were not many fatalities in that. There were casualties. The train had been derailed from the its track, but there were not many casualties. So 2014 to 2025, these 11 years have seen virtually no violence. I mean, other than the proxy war in J&K. So let's wait and watch, see what reports are coming. And I'm sure our people are there on the job. They will be able to join the dots and prevent a further spiraling of the event towards be it UP or towards Meerut or towards Pathankot side. That's all at the moment I have to comment on.
Yeah. So it's also very surprising, Major General, that when you talk about these terrorists who were caught, they are doctors, and one of them is a woman. In this, they're supposed to be Jaish e Mohammed terrorists. I just can't understand how you study to become a doctor who saves lives and then decides to go and sacrifice people's lives, in this manner. So it's a shame for the people themselves who wanted to be doctors and then became killers. So this is something very, very, worrying, because whenever we're talking about peace in different countries, we have problems like this which arise.
Yeah,
Now, moving
yeah,
on to the yeah, moving on to the
uh,
next piece of news. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you want
Please go ahead.
yeah. So moving on to the next piece of news. Uh, Alarming new intelligence suggests that Pakistan based terrorists, led by a designated global terrorist Hafiz Saeed, are actively plotting to open new fronts for attacks on India, with Bangladesh being cultivated as a new launch pad. The revelation comes directly from a video recording of a rally held in Khairpur, Tamewali, Pakistan on October 30th, where senior LET commander Saifullah Saif made a dangerous disclosure. He said Hafiz Saeed was not sitting idle. He was preparing to attack India through Bangladesh. He claimed that Lashkar-e-Taiba operatives were already active in East Pakistan, that is Bangladesh, and were prepared to give a befitting reply to India for Operation Sindhu. Now, the Gujarat ATS has busted a new terror module, arresting three individuals with a cache of arms and ammunition, which has once again exhibited its capabilities for painstaking intelligence collection and smooth operations, is what the DGP said. So, Major General, as you said, this is something that we have to closely watch and monitor and also be careful about. Yes, your comments, sir.
Yeah, but what about your previous comment? Doctors, so much of money and national wealth has been spent on training doctors. Are the doctors meant for these kind of jobs? Yes, that's the right question which all of us are asking, and we need to be very, very alert. This is called as white collar terrorism. White collar terrorism, you will have people like doctors, you have lawyers, you will have engineers, you will have some scientists also coming into this, and you will have some media people also into this. So the society has to be absolutely on red alert, and be watchful as to what is happening inside the house, outside the house, in the society, outside the society, and the colony. And we need to stay connected with the security apparatus, report to them what is being noticed, because this is now going to be such a hybrid warfare or irregular warfare, because Pakistan knows that they are no match against the Indian conventional resources. And now it is not Pakistan alone. So along with Pakistan, you have China, you have Turkey, you have Azerbaijan. They are joining up, and now new front has opened up in Bangladesh. And in Bangladesh, you have Turkey and Qatar. Qatar is giving money for training of the girl students. You have a women organization of Jaish Mohammed, which has been raised. I'm told a battalion strength is coming up. I'm also being told that there is Muhajir a regiment comprising of number of battalions which is being raised, which comprises of the Pakistanis stranded in Bangladesh. There are almost about 6 lakh of them, and the youth are being gleaned from this 6 lakh. They are being put into this Muhajir battalion, and also along with that they have Lashkar-e-Taiba. They have also Mujahideens. Their basic task is what you just mentioned in the summing up of the previous point, that is doctors. How can doctors ever do a thing like this? Their basic job is radicalization. How do they radicalize? They identify people and group them under different headings. Now they are going in, they're targeting this kind of white collar kind of appointments, and trying to put them into the trap, subvert their mind, and also bring them into the ecosystem of terrorism. So we have to be very, very careful. And also, they're looking at the students who are in class 12 and the intermediate or the graduates who are about to pass out and IT qualified. People who are IT qualified are being sought after because they don't have to go on ground to take training. The training is being imparted through internet, through social media platform. And third and most important thing is the communication experts. They are also being sought after because communication expert, they are looking for people who know how to handle encrypted messages, encrypted communication modes. Encrypted means the financial flow are taking place in such kind of modules or conduits which cannot be deciphered by a normal IT guy. So therefore, they are looking for experts with basic knowledge on IT who can be put through such kind of capsule by the experts through internet, and they develop that expertise. They are trying to come in into. So our country has to prepare for a different kind of warfare. This time it may not be like a classical Operation Sindoor Phase One. It may be a battle which has to be fought by every civilian in conjunction with different kinds of security apparatus. It could be Army, Navy, Air Force. It also could be the cyber experts. It could also be the electromagnetic experts, or maybe the experts within the civil society who have to step forward. This is only a very minuscule. Now, soon you will be seeing the drones being applied onto the civilian targets which are uncalled for, which you would have never expected. And now, coming to the question which you have asked, yes, this is actually flaring up gradually. It will start, it is penetrated into a society. There is a process of radicalization which is already in place. There is an ecosystem which is existing with regard to the sleeper cell. The helpers are there, the trainees are there. And you are taking the name of Hafiz Saeed. Hafiz Saeed's relation, I think his cousin is already floating around along the border between uh, the Bangladesh and India. He has visited many places along the border. Maybe he's looking out for sites where he can train uh, his people who have migrated from Pakistan to Bangladesh. They're planning to attack our civilian assets along the Siliguri corridor, and also reactivate the Ulfa modules in Assam, and also radicalize people in Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Orissa. It may be sounding very alarming, but we should be prepared that such a thing is in the offing, and we need to keep our eyes and ears open and take preventive measure in conjunction with the security apparatus existing on the ground. That's it.
Yeah. So also, the key accused has been identified as Dr. Ahmed Mohiuddin Said, an MBBS doctor trained in China, said reports. According to investigators, Said allegedly used his medical background to extract ricin toxin from castor seeds, intending to mix it into food or drinking water at public, religious, and crowded sites. As per public information available on the net, ricin is over 6,000 times more poisonous than cyanide, and even a few milligrams can cause organ failure and death. Critically, there is no known antidote, making it a favored agent in past terror assassination plots globally. So now the Gujarat ATS has confirmed the arrest of this man, that is Dr. Saeed, along with Mohammed Suhail and Azad during a coordinated operation near the Adalaj toll plaza. And they had, of course, a lot of ammunition with them as well, uh, Major General.
Yeah, but you have already explained about ricin. People have, I'm sure they will understand the gravity and the sensitivity of this particular chemical ingredient. It is the most dangerous kind of poison. And what I wish to make a value addition with regard to this point is, you see, they have selected. Basically, I don't want to speak about the religion, but the targets which possibly applying by military science knowledge, which they're looking for, are the places where you have large scale common food centers, large scale common food centers are like temples where you have prasad, like say Puri Jagannath. Puri Jagannath, there are almost about 50,000 people come and eat every day. The prasadi which is offered, they're cooked at a particular central place. Similarly, Amritsar serves something more than 1 lakh people per day, maybe much more than 1 lakh. So there is a central langar which is being provided. They prepare sarbat, they have liquids which are offered. These are common mass food centers where the food is served or eatables are served. Similarly, you go to Patna Sahib, you go to Tirupati, you go to such like places, you have huge Hindu pilgrimage coming or come to Vaishno Mata. So at all these places, you have our, as per the Hindu ritual, you have something offered, some Ganga Jal is being offered, and you take that as a very pious and very spiritual, and you just consume it. So just imagine this Ricin, if it is mixed in that kind of water, it is going to cause mass scale death of people. So these are the targets, without firing a single bullet, you are killing such well, a huge number of people in such kind of center. We got to be very, very watchful. Whatever is being served, we need to evolve a system. Medically, it should be examined, and all preventive measures should be put in place so that these kind of targeted killings of mass centers where the food or water or anything liquid which is served free of cost, when you have pilgrimage, generally traditional and historic practices are being. In south you have many temples, Meenakshi temple, you have there people assembling almost on daily basis. You go to Kanyakumari, there are large number of pilgrimage and such like places. We have to be very watchful and careful. Kamaksha temple is another place. So offhand, and now we have Ram temple, which has come up a couple of years back, and large number of tourists which have broken the world record all over. So we need to be very careful about this. And now that this is just the tip of the iceberg, it may start manifesting in different form and contours. We need to take all effective countermeasures against such kind of chemicals or poisons being used or being injected into a system ecosystem where the food is being prepared for mass scale pilgrimage. That's it for the time
So,
being.
as you rightly said, the group had carried out recce missions at religious sites in Delhi, public congregation zones in Ahmedabad, cultural and tourist hubs in Lucknow. So, we're talking about any area where food is, as you said, served, in large quantities to public. It could be temples, or it could be public congregations or tourist areas. So, this is something that people, as you said, civilians also have to be very alert as to what's happening around them, and also alert if they find something sort of fishy. So this is very worrying. At the same time, as you said, under Modi ji, they are very alert, and I'm sure they're taking all the precautions to make sure that we are safe. Now, moving on to the other piece of news is that Pakistan on Saturday reportedly passed a constitutional amendment paving the way for Army Chief General Asim Munir to take charge as the country's first Chief of Defense Forces, a powerful new position aimed at ensuring greater coordination and unified command among the three services. The 27th Constitutional Amendment Bill presented in Parliament proposes changes to Article 243 of the Constitution, which governs matters related to the armed forces. Under the amendment, the President will appoint both the Army Chief and Chief of Defense Forces on the advice of the Prime Minister, according to PTI news agency report. Your comments, Major?
Yes, yes, very, very important point. And I'm given to understand through the open source of media that this is going to be legislated on 14th of November in Pakistan Parliament. And before that, I would like to highlight certain aspects. That Operation Sindoor has highlighted certain deficiencies which the Pakistan Armed Forces has experienced. One of the deficiency is that when a officer in the armed forces, their Pakistan air chief is senior than the army chief. Pakistan Air Chief, seniority in armed forces is actually taken note of from or counted from the date of commission. The date of commission of the Pakistan Air Chief is earlier then that the date of commission of Army Chief, that is Field Marshal Munir. So during Operation Sindoor, these things have been suppressed. They have not come to the limelight. There are certain orders which the Army Chief wanted the Air Chief to comply with. But by virtue of the seniority difference, it is quite natural that in a hierarchical kind of a architecture, the senior is senior. He is likely to not disobey, he is likely to not take things seriously if a junior ranking official is passing an order. A case in point is that the air defense architecture world over is generally looked after by the Air Force. Generally, it is not sacrosanct or binding. Like in our case, we have the complete architecture under one. It is called unitary command, single unit command. That Air Force is responsible for coordinating every aspect regarding the air defense. So whether it is S-400 or Akash Ter or Barak missile, the which you have taken from Israel, or you talk about Zoo series weapon platforms, or L-70 or any other. Igla, we had got large number of Igla handheld air defense weapon system from Russia, very close to Operation Sindhu. So all of them are integrated into common platform. The Air Force, the fighter aircrafts, when they take off, they also have to be integrated. They have to be handled by the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has to carry out the selection of the target and which weapon system is actually best suitable to neutralize. That's how we did not have a single oncoming missile from Pakistan penetrating through the architecture of our air defense. So it was seen that the air defense of Pakistan, which rightly should have gone under the air chief, they did not go under him. For example, the HQ-9. HQ-9 is a Chinese air defense weapon system. It's supposed to have gone under the air chief, which was operating at Bahawalpur Airport. Bahawalpur Airport, about 5 to 9 kilometers away, was the Jaish-e-Mohammed headquarters, training center, logistic base, and since it was not operating as coordinated as it should have been, because it happened to be under the army dominance or army's control, therefore our missile and our drones, the loiter ammunition, could penetrate through a gap of from 100 meters to 1000 meters through this gap, because there is no radar in the world available which can cover this particular gap. So India, as per my assessment, was successful in taking advantage of this gap, penetrating and hitting the terrorist camp at Bahawalpur, which got exposed from Pakistan side by virtue of lack of coordination between their air force and the army. This is the point I'm trying to highlight. So such like issues are best addressed by constitutional amendments, because field marshal, by purpose, they have the army chief is always considered as a higher and the most de facto effective superior authority in Pakistan hierarchy of security apparatus. Despite the fact that he is junior in date of commission, he has been given higher status, and it is being legislated by constitutional amendment, so that regardless of the seniority of the people who are serving in the existing system, they have to comply, they have to obey, and they have to listen to what the senior most officer, as per the constitutional amendment, passes the order or desires for better and effective coordination. This also is going to put the civil administration under very stringent, I would say, limitations, because the democracy, although it is a form of democracy, Islamic Republic, but I doubt whether the democracy will be able to exercise its mandate, given the fact that there are going to be amendments with regard to freedom speech as well. Third thing I wish to highlight is, once it comes through, then perhaps shoot to kill orders will be promulgated by virtue of this empowering authority or amendment coming through in the constitutional amendment in places or provinces like Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Because if shoot to kill provisions are applied, then it is actually going to have very telling impact on the exercising of the democratic right by the people. Also, it will put the people who are operating in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa under very very stringent operational imperatives, which will give more power and authority to the chief of the army staff or the field marshal to exercise so as to bring law and order back to the society and bring some semblance of normalcy. Whether it happens or not, it's a matter to be seen. And last but not the least is that the elephant in the room is actually Imran Khan, because people are fearing if Imran Khan comes back to power, it may happen that same people who are trying to protect their backside with the help of constitutional amendments may be subjected to some kind of scrutiny and judicial validation. If that happens, then they should not be subjected to accountability as it has happened in the past, and they may have to pay a very heavy price for whatever acts of terror they're bringing in into the society or the environment to on the name of peace and normalcy and to bring back a law and order back to the society. So there are very very stringent measures which are likely to unfold. We may have to, the budget allocation is another issue. This we need to actually be very careful. India has to watch it very minutely and call out the issues which are going to be against the rules based international order in the region and in the subcontinent. Back to you, Mina.
Yeah. So, just one candid question, Major General, and that is, as we watch Munir, he seems to be, flaunting a lot of medals. As far as we know, they have lost all the wars with India. So, I'm just wondering, from where did he get this list of medals, Major General?
Very interesting question, Meena. He's a failed field marshal. I haven't heard or seen anywhere in the world any army chief getting promoted to the rank of field marshal after having lost the battle or the conflict. This is for the first time field marshal is being upgraded. This is basically, as per my understanding, um, there is an old saying that uh, a known devil is better than an unknown angel. So, the Pakistan having gone through such kind of criticalities of constitutional crisis, economic crisis, their political crisis, and their diplomatic crisis, there is a crisis everywhere. There are debt servicing crisis. They perhaps were looking for some kind of a stability. Okay, so in order to bring in some kind of a stability, the best option available to them was to promote this general staff, the chief of the army staff, to the status of, it's an honorary rank. Field marshal is an honorary rank. He doesn't retire ever. So to give him some kind of a permanency, and that permanency by virtue having served in a particular sector or field area, and if you serve for a particular duration, and that itself is a great recognition, and as per the army practices or the convention, one is entitled to those medals provided he does not he is not involved in any kind of disciplinary activity. He is medically shape one or fit for fighting the combat. He is qualified in all his promotion and competitive examination, and his behavioral matrix is within the normal acceptable standards. That means there is a thing called an AFMS 10, psychiatric cases. People should not misbehave in the battleground or otherwise in the peacetime. There is some military norm. He is supposed to behave as per the military norm. So all these things put together is, if he's fulfilling the criteria, then he's entitled to a medal. So that's how the number of medals are so many, and it is not for winning or becoming a victorious kind of a soldier for having knocked down somebody or killed somebody. It is by virtue of having discharged the mandate for a particular duration in a particular sector, which is known for its hardship, environmental hazards, inclement weather, and the challenging connectivity and the remoteness and other things, and the hostile environment that we go through in the army. That's how you are awarded a kind of a medal as per the standard practice all over the world in almost all the armies.
Yeah. And Jaydev is asking, what will happen to Imran Khan?
And a good question. As per me, if Pakistan wants to have a lasting solution of a progressive roadmap, they should introspect, let the natural leader be released from the jail, let people participate in the democracy, let Pakistan bounce back to the truth, the white truth, and the natural form of governance. Imran Khan should be released. But my understanding is behind his jail profile, there is a hand of USA. And it is on the dictate of the USA that Imran Khan is in jail today. And there is a puppet, unelected government. I would say selected government. Sharif Saab is a selected government, not an elected government. A puppet government which is in power. And Imran Khan will continue to remain in jail till such time Pakistan is assured that his political party is unlikely to pose any kind of danger to the existence of the present dispensation which is in power. That is all I can say at the
Yeah.
moment. What
So
will
there are
happen to
some,
him?
yeah, some comments saying that what is our intelligence doing, Munir and Munir, for terrorist worm which assigned to him. But what is our intelligence doing? That's from DP Reddy. And then another one from Parshuram who says, Bangalore blast, Rameshwar Cafe, investigations, no progress.
Well, you have a point. All I can say as a retired general, I'm not privy to the issues which are being handled by the people who are serving. I'm also equally concerned why no action is being taken. To us, it may appear that no action is being taken, but the insiders who are actually handling, their hands are full, they're active, they are narrowing down. You see, intelligence operative or operations are time consuming. We need to have patience, they need to join the dots. You see, that 26 8 Taj Hotel incident, till date, there are certain issues we have not been able to join the dots and unravel the entire conspiracy. They're still coming out. Rana, who was extradited, it's a big success story to get him back from USA to India to subject him to judiciary. That's a big, big success. So our people who are handling such kind of sensitive issues are doing a great job. We need to actually have patience and respect for them, and we need to give them kudos and compliment them. And as regards our anxiety, it is well understood. Every man outside the security apparatus would expect that second Pahalgam doesn't take place. One, if at all, like I have been asking question, is India, the time has come that can't we take some steps, restructure our organization in a manner so that before enemy, Pakistan or China or whoever, before they launch another Pahalgam against us, before they have a blast in the cafe that you're talking of, in Bangalore, we should be in a position to anticipate or have some feedback so that some kind of a preventive measure can be taken. It is well said. I also want the same thing. USA was a superpower when 9/11 took place. USA had all the wherewithal. There is no country in the world which has got better and effective measures and countermeasures than USA. Yet 9/11 had to take place. Russia is another, it's a kind of a superpower. Yet you had the ISI or ISIS attack taking place, I think, last year in that auditorium. You see what is happening. The ISI of Pakistan has been caught red-handed trying to steal the information about S-400, which was the game changer as far as we are concerned, and about some helicopters which are being developed by them. Similarly, what I'm saying is, it is not a cat and mouse disease or a vitiated kind of a problem. It is a problem that it is, you have to navigate through lots of complexities and have patience. And we people need to have trust in our apparatus and the people who are actually handling. That is the only way. And the only thing that we can do is to keep our eyes and ears open. If there is anything suspicious, we need to report the same to the nearest security element who are operating or who are in the know how, who can facilitate quick dissemination of this information to the people concerned. That is all I can say. Don't be impatient. Have faith. Have trust in your own system. The same government, same dispensation has given us normalcy and stability for past 11 years. And I'm sure with the cooperation and collaboration with our civilian fraternity, we will be able to prevent occurrence of such things in future.
Absolutely. So, as you spoke about Russia, now Moscow has busted a spy network run by Pakistan's inter-service intelligence, seeking to smuggle out air defense systems technology from Russia in what could be the first such mission by ISI in that country. In a counter-espionage operation, a Russian national was arrested in St. Petersburg while trying to smuggle out documents used for developing military helicopter technology and air defense systems and other information about Mi-8 AMT SHV and Mi-8 AMT SHV VA military transport helicopters, said people familiar with this issue.
Yeah, that's a very important point you have raised. All I would say at the moment is that after the success of Operation Sindoor Phase 1, uh, there is no denying the fact S-400 was the game changer. And along with S-400, the other weapon systems, Akash, like a host of others that I listed out little while back. Uh, in the month of June, July, there was a serious attempt made by ISI to glean these details from Russia. I don't know why it actually got suppressed in the open media. Now, this is the second attempt which has come to light. And in the second attempt, they are not only looking for the details about the S-400, because why? Why is it so? I have a feeling ISI alone will not have the courage to undertake such kind of special mission of spying or stealing information. There is some big power behind all this. And that big power may be right, may not be right. These are my assessments. Why am I making this point is that in 2019, Saudi Arabia, its state-owned oil refinery called as Aramco, it was being provided protection by Patriot missiles. Okay, the similar kind of missiles they have come to light. They were there with Iraq, wherever American troops are deployed, and wherever America has made commitment, they are also deployed in Europe and elsewhere. It was seen in Saudi Arabia that the Houthis from Yemen, they could employ the drones. The drones managed to penetrate through the gap, which I mentioned, 100 to 1000 meters gap, which no radar in the world, sorry, it is not meters, it is 100 feet, 100 feet to 1000 feet. This is the gap, narrow gap, through which they penetrated, they infiltrated, and they carried out successful target destruction within the targeted area. So, if this is the efficacy of the best air defense weapon system, Patriot, assuming that the complete nuclear arsenal of Pakistan is in the hands of the USA, and USA would have definitely ensured some kind of air defense to ensure protection to the weapon systems or the nuclear warhead. I am very, very sure, very confident that after the success story of Operation Sindoor and the game changer S-400 that gave to India, success that it gave to us, I'm sure USA would have got worried. And if you take your mind back to the behavioral metrics of Donald Trump from the night of 9th, 10th May, it is when J.D. Vance calls up our Honorable Prime Minister, tells him that there is going to be a massive strike from Pakistan side. Our Honorable Prime Minister says ki if they undertake a massive strike, we'll undertake a super massive strike against Pakistan. And slowly things are coming out. Pakistan had planned for a strike against counter strike against India at 4 in the morning, 10 on 10th of May. So our Air Force, they went in prior to the 10th of morning at 4 o'clock. So they were taken by surprise. So that's how we had a grand success, thumping success against the air bases and the airfields. So my take on the whole issue is that the air defense of Pakistan generally, whenever you undertake any aerial operation, you neutralize the air defense first. So our Air Force would have done the same, I'm sure. And in doing so, the Pakistan air defense, which I presume would have had some elements from the USA, also would have been found wanting or deficient in their capability. So, therefore, to upgrade their own capability, they also would be looking for the technological uh, capability of the S400 and the S500. Number two, our own Prime Minister has made an announcement from on 15th of August that by 2035 India would be having Sudarshan Chakra. It's a kind of a dome, air defense dome, which will give protection to country from all sides, from the coastal lines, from to the centers of excellence, economic centers of excellence, to the research laboratories, to the nuclear reactors, to wherever economic centers of, our aim is to become an economic power, as also the military might is going to go up. So protection from all sides, including Siliguri corridor and such kind of vulnerable areas and points. So in that we are looking for transfer of technology taking place from Russia to us. S400 is going to be built here in India, or S500. There are talks going on at the moment, and not to buy the project, but to get the transfer of technology and develop them, co-develop, co-design, like we are doing the BrahMos. So, if that be the architecture, then assuming that the whole world is conspiring to retard the growth, economic growth, and military might of India in foreseeable future, as also now, the bell is ringing in my head that there could be either USA or somebody else, which is actually compelling or encouraging ISI to undertake such kind of missions to steal the data. Why China is unlikely to do? Because China already has S300, it has got S400. There is also some understanding. The scientists at one point in time, when India did not take advantage, the Russians were offering us after disintegration of Soviet Union, they were offering at a very subsidized salary and pay. You take our scientists. We refused to take the scientists at that point in time. The Chinese they had taken. So they have the technical know-how. They have the advantage of reverse engineering. They are able to co-design, co-develop, and co-produce. So I don't think China would have undertaken. The ISI would have gone at the behest of USA, or maybe independently, to steal the data and information so that they could build with the support of Turkey. Maybe Turkey has already got S400 with it, despite being a NATO, and despite the USA having put sanctions against it, if I am not forgetting the statistics and the date correctly. So therefore, my mind is saying that perhaps at the indication of USA, ISI would have taken this, or they would have taken an independent mission to steal the information from Russia. Not only the S400 or S500, they are also looking at the aircrafts, which is an upgrade of the earlier Mi-8 series. And that aircraft or the helicopter is actually has got the assault capability. It is lightweight, it can maneuver better, and it can also avoid the radar detection very easily. Plus they have developed an aircraft which is more effective towards Arctic. So it can fly at extreme temperatures and put the pilots in a very comfortable shape and form, and keeps the cockpit warm. And at those extreme temperatures, it is able to operate effectively, because Arctic is soon going to open up with new sea lanes of communication that is going to reduce the complete travel time almost by 50% from East Asia, let's say, to Europe and elsewhere around the Europe. So that is all I have to say about this. And we need to be. People are asking me in previous channels, could it be that the KGB and the RAW they are in a collaborative effort. They're exchanging information. I said, yes, why not? Russia is an evergreen friend. They have stood by our requirement in critical junctures. So, if it is not happening, the RAW must actually cooperate with KGB and provide them this information. We need
Absolutely.
to stand together in such kind of critical junctures.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Major General. It was a wonderful chat and lots of information coming from you. Thank you so much. And good night. Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Jai Shri
Thank
Ram.
you. Thank you so much. Take care. All
Bye.
the best. I enjoyed as much as I'm sure you would have enjoyed the conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye
so
bye.
much. Good night.